Friends, thank you for watching my channel. I just want to remind you, if you need wallpaper, go to www.wallpaperboulevard.com. Tell them Spencer sent you. In fact, if you use my hashtag, Spencer Colgan is wallpaper, they'll be sure to give you 10% off at your checkout. No matter how much you order, they have a wide selection of wallpaper. Check it out. This is Spencer Colgan from Spencer Colgan is Wallpaper and Painting. Welcome back to my show. Popcorn ceilings are two types. One, where they've been painted over. Or two, where they haven't been painted over. So I want to talk to you, just show them the ceiling here. This is your typical popcorn ceiling. Now, this has not been painted over. And so I want to show you how to remove it. A lot of you write in and say, I have this texture on my ceiling. I think it's popcorn. You have to know if your ceiling is popcorn or if it's skip trowel or knocked down. A lot of folks don't know, but popcorn basically looks like the little kernels of popcorn, and they're splattered on a ceiling. They're little balls, okay? And usually they come in a bag of texture that gets mixed with water, and they're blown onto the ceiling through a big funnel type thing called a hopper, where compressed air is pushed through it, and then the texture lands on the ceiling. And so a lot of folks opt not to paint this stuff because it's already white, and ceilings are usually white. Now, how do you remove it? Now, these are becoming very unpopular. I don't think people are doing them anymore, even in new construction. Why would you do popcorn? So, let me show you first how not to remove a popcorn ceiling. You'll basically need a scraper or a taping knife. This is a 6-inch taping knife, and this is a 10. This tool is awesome. It's about $3, and it's a paint etcher, but it allows you to hold this tool and use it as a scraper and using different hand muscles than it would take to use these. So folks have carpal tunnel, arthritis, etc., or they have a better grip using different tools. You may opt for the 6-inch and take a little bit longer to do the job. Anything that scrapes will get the texture off of the ceiling, except if you go and get an authentic scraper that's designed to scrape paint off of exterior wood. And you'll know not to use that. It has two handles. One is on the body of the scraper, where you put your hand, and the other has a knob on top. That's for very aggressive scraping. We don't want that. We just want a tool that you can simply scrape and apply compound with. This is what we use. Okay? So let's get to it. This is how not to scrape your popcorn off. Okay, did I get the popcorn off? Did I get the popcorn off? Not really. What I did was create a modified popcorn texture. You know, some people actually might like this. In the world of texturing, it doesn't look that bad. Okay? I mean, this is hideous. But this, if you're into texture, it doesn't look that bad. Now, let me show you how I suggest you remove your popcorn texture that hasn't been painted. I'm first going to try with a 6-inch. I'm going to tell you why. This tool allows your thumb to do a lot of work, gives you a lot of power. Okay? But stay right there, cameraman. I'm going to grab another tool that I think you might want. Now, if you're the do-it-yourselfer, you may not want to go out and spend $40 on a popcorn scraper catcher. That's a tool that allows you to scrape with a pole, and it collects the debris falling. You could just get a bucket and do this. Can you zoom in? Did you zoom?
Yeah.
Now, cameraman, show them the difference. Zoom in on that ceiling. Show them the difference between my first and my second application. It's completely flat. As opposed to this. What's the difference? What did I do? The difference is water, if you haven't already guessed, which I'm sure many of you already have guessed. Simple water. And we're not letting it soak for that long of a time period either. 3 minutes. Remember, this ceiling is not painted. It's just popcorn textured. Now let me show you how easy it is. Yeah, you might get debris on the floor, cover your floors, but a simple bucket will do the trick. That's all it is, folks. A little water and not that much muscle. I think you get the idea of how to remove popcorn texture. Now, this will not remove knockdown or skip trowel. Those are textures over which you need to skim coat. So, this procedure is only for removing popcorn. And it's only for removing popcorn that hasn't been painted. Go to a corner of your wall, your ceiling, where you're going to be removing the popcorn, and scrape a little off. Put some water on it and scrape. If you leave the water on there for 5 minutes, and then you try to scrape it and it's not coming off, it's painted. If you leave the water set for 5 minutes, and you scrape it and it comes right off, you're good to go. Remove the whole thing. Now, there's one caveat. Test your popcorn for asbestos. Now, my house was built in 1985. There's no asbestos in the ceiling. But if you have a ceiling that's old, you may want to find out whether or not the particles in your ceiling contain asbestos. And you get a simple asbestos testing kit. It's worth checking it out. Now, before I forget, many of you might say, can I just sand it off? I'll go rent a drywall sander. No, you don't want to be doing that. You'll have a mess all over. For a drywall sander to work effectively, let me show you. Now this is a Festool Planex, or Planex. This is mine. It's not rented. This is $2,200. I'm not sanding popcorn off with my sander. But even if you did with a rented sander, your sander can't get flush against the ceiling. And because of that, it will make the debris fly all over the room. These sanders work because they sit flush up against the wall. And these little bristles trap the dust as the HEPA filter and vacuum system suck the debris into this hose, into a HEPA filter, creating a dustless environment. You can't sand popcorn off of the ceiling. Now, after this is dry, all I have is a practically smooth surface. Don't gouge your ceilings. Just scrape at an angle that's less than 15 degrees. And what do I mean by that? Let me show you. If you're scraping aggressively like this to this is too aggressive. You want to scrape at a low angle so that the loose stuff just comes off. Just show them the difference in the angle. This would be very aggressive. Okay, this is 45 degrees. That's still too aggressive. You want to be scraping your ceiling off like this. 10 to 15 degrees. That's it. Comes right off. Okay? So now, after you scrape it off and after the ceiling dries, simply skim coat if necessary, a thin coat, and sand it off with this, and your ceiling is ready to prime and paint. Okay, thanks for watching the video.